in this video, we are going to discuss subunits 2.2, and this is about, so here we are going to cover adverbs of frequency, jobs-related vocabulary, and we'll learn how to talk about work routines. Well, first, let's do this. So we have 1A. You have to match the word jobs with photos AG, right? Okay. So we have first one is, what do you think, guys? So it's probably rescue workers, right? Rescue workers. Second one is personal trainer. Personal trainer. Third one can be sales representative, right? Sales rep, sales representative. And then D. Okay, so this one can be a foreign correspondent, right? Foreign correspondent. And then comes IT consultant. This person, this can be IT consultant. Then we have motorcycle courier here. And then last but not least is fashion designer, right? This is fashion designer. So let's go ahead. Now we are going to listen and repeat. So yes, we have to know where the stresses are. This is listening 2.4.
Unit 2, Recording 4.
Sales rep, fashion designer, IT consultant, foreign correspondent, personal trainer, rescue worker, motorcycle courier.
Well, as we can see, so here it says underline the stressed syllables. So in most cases, the stressed ones were first words like sales rep, fashion designer, IT, personal trainer. So the stressed part of a word or phrase sounds longer and louder and also higher than the other parts. So you have to practice saying new vocabulary, focusing on stressed parts, right? Stressed ones. Okay, let's go ahead. So we have to work in pairs and then discuss which are the best, worst jobs. You have to think about meeting people, opportunities to travel, problems to deal with, and tasks, hours of work, and then we have salary as well. So let's go ahead. Now we're going to photo bank, page 152, and take a look at more words. Okay, so as you can see, we have jobs related words like accountant, an architect, businesswoman, businessman, chef, electrician, estate agent, housewife, lawyer, PA or personal assistant, plumber, receptionist, sales assistant, scientist, soldier, TV presenter, and vet, right? So you have to work in pairs and discuss which jobs do you think are dangerous, enjoyable, and boring, and then give reasons, the answers. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now we have 2A. Here we have to complete the phrases with the words in the box, in this box below. We have work, deal with, risk, and get. So a good salary and long holidays, right? So we can actually get a good salary and then get long holidays. We know that this word get has lots of meanings, right? And in this case, it's like receive. And then we have in a team and under pressure. Well, we have work in a team, right? And work under pressure, right? It's a nice collocation. Okay, then comes and risk, right? The risk their lives and risk your health. And then we have deal with, it's like fix problems, right? Deal with problems and customers. Mhm. So you have to use these phrases to talk about the jobs in exercise 1. Like IT consultants get a good salary. This can be a good reason to be an IT consultant. Then we have complete sentences from 1 to 6 with the words in the box. As you can see, we have several words. Well, first one, people work better when they get a good salary. So as we had it in 2A, so it's get a good salary, right? It's like receive, get a good salary. Then comes people work better. So we said under a lot of pressure, right? Under pressure. Then comes the third one. It's important that employees get long what? Holidays, right? Holidays. And then comes people who their lives at work should get more money. People who risk their lives, right? It's not easy. Well, it's more enjoyable to work in a than alone. In a what? In a probably team, right? Than alone. And then we have these days, people usually their own IT problems deal with, right? Their own IT problems, deal with problems, fix problems. And what you're going to do, you'll have to work in pairs and discuss which of these sentences above do you agree or disagree with, and then give the reasons for your opinion. Yeah, let's go ahead. Well, here we have reading passages, several. So, first of all, which of the jobs in exercise 1A do you think is the best paid, most interesting, or most dangerous? And then tell us why. Well, as you remember, in 1A we had sales representative, fashion designer, foreign correspondent, IT consultant, and others, etc., etc. Well, let's go ahead. And then we have to work in groups. So student A will have to read the text below, right? Student B will have to go to page 160, right? And student C will have to go to page 162, and then they'll have to make notes on job, country, the people interviewed, why the job is dangerous, and special memories and stories. So this is for student A, right? This is for student A. Then we have on page 160. We have a reading passage for student B, right? And on the next page, we have for reading passage for student C, right? Okay, great. Yeah. Let's go ahead. So here we have, yes, this is for student A, and then you will have to discuss this, make notes on this. Let's go ahead. Now we have grammar part, adverbs of frequency. So we have to look at sentences 1 to 9 and put the words in bold in the correct place on the line, right? So here we have the line, right? The spectrum from 0 to 100%. Well, as if it's 0, of course, it's none of the time. It's like never, right? And then we have occasionally or once in a while, right? Somewhere here. And we have always, which is 100%. It's all the time, right? He never worries, right? Never, it's 0, right? 0%. Then we have often. Well, of course, it's like often, right? Sometimes, again, we have more than them. So often the people they rescue are frightened, right? The mountain rescuers sometimes get angry. It usually involves a few broken bones. Life is as a jockey is rarely safe, right? Rarely. These people always risk their lives. Hardly ever it's close to rarely, right? Hardly ever say thank you. Once in a while, it's somewhere here, and jockeys even die during a race. And then occasionally they get a surprise. Occasionally, right? We have occasionally. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead. So then you have to find it and correct the miss. But before, again, you have to read your text again, underline all the adverbs or expressions of frequency. And you'll also have to look at the other text to find more examples, right? Look at the other text to find more examples. So let's go ahead now to page 130 to get more insight into adverbs. Well, we have adverbs of frequency. Well, we use adverbs of frequency to say how frequently we do something, right? Some of the most common are never, rarely, occasionally, sometimes, often, usually, always. And there are several adverbial phrases, right, of frequency. It's a phrase, hardly ever, once in a while, every day, months, year, every month, every year. And we know that the verb to be it's very strong. It doesn't let this frequency of adverbs of frequency go in between. So we have to put it after the word. I'm always here, right? First comes the subject, then comes our verb and or predicate, and then comes adverbs of frequency, right? They come. Okay, I'm always here. They were usually early. As you can see, usually is used after to be. In this case, to be is in the past. And then we usually put the adverb before other verbs, like speak, eat. Okay, so as you can see, it actually separates, right? Separates like the subject and the verb. So I sometimes spoke to him. We hardly ever ate there. So if we have auxiliaries or modal words, we usually put the adverb after the auxiliary or modal. So it can help or it can always help, right? She doesn't stay here. She doesn't usually stay here. We haven't visited them. We've never visited them, right? So adverbs of frequency, they can also go at the beginning, at the very beginning of a sentence, and then middle or end of a sentence. As you can see here, it's in the middle. I occasionally go dancing, or I go dancing occasionally. So always and never, they do not normally go at the beginning or end of sentences. But once in a while, and every day, every month, year, usually go at the beginning or end of sentences. So, and there are other phrases to show how frequently something happens. It's like every day or one time per day, right? I have a shower every day. We have once a week. It means one time per week. She writes to me once a week. And then we have twice a week, two times per week, right? They go shopping twice a week. I hope it's clear. Now let's go back. Let's go ahead. So here we have 6A, practice part. Find and correct the mistakes in sentences 1-6 below. There is one mistake in each sentence. So I work always at night. This is wrong because, as we know, adverbs of frequency, they have to go in between the subject and the verb. So I always work at night. So we have once on a while, once in a while, which this is the wrong preposition. I ever hardly, wow, this is a wrong adverbial phrase. We have to say, I hardly ever study alone, right? I work at home occasional. Well, occasional is not an adverb. It's like occasionally. It's sometime, again, there is no such kind of adverb in English. It's sometimes difficult, right, to study and work at the same time. I don't usually miss classes because of work. Again, usual, it's not an adverb. That's for usually, right? So you have to now and you have to write 3 true sentences and 3 false sentences about your job or studies. Like, I deal with customers once in a while. So there's an example. And then comes speaking part. Here you have to work in groups. So imagine you are making a TV program about dangerous jobs. You have to discuss these questions and choose 3 jobs for your program. Well, which jobs are dangerous and why? How often are the people in dangerous situations? Then, which jobs are the most interesting for your TV audience? And who will you interview for the program? What questions will you ask them? Then you have to work with another group and compare your ideas. So I hope it was a productive video for you. That's it.